Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the It's Obvious podcast. This is episode 163. My name is Garrett Drake, and I'm joined across the table by my lover, Jacob Alka.
Hi, babe. How you doing, babe?
Quite well, babe. I shouldn't say quite well. That is a total lie. I think I'm just so accustomed and conditioned to say quite well, or I'm doing well. Everything's cool, dude.
Yeah.
Not doing so well today, Jacob.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I am on the same wavelength.
Yeah, that works. You and I both are not feeling too well today for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to begin why we're not feeling too well?
Sure, yeah. So I went out last night, Saturday night, partied a little too hard, probably. Surprisingly, I didn't spend a lot of money because it was kind of a celebration for my birthday, so everyone kind of bought stuff for me. But, it was a fun time, but I woke up this morning, didn't feel good, Garrett. Felt really bad.
We talking a hangover here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely a hangover.
I've never had a hangover.
You've never had a hangover?
I have not.
Man.
I've never been drunk.
You need to live a little.
Yeah, I've been very tipsy. I've been on the verge of being drunk, but this is how I know I'm still good to go. If I can do basic multiplication and division in my head, I know I'm still right-minded.
I think I could still do that while I was drunk.
While you're drunk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, multiplication's kind of easy.
Yeah, I've definitely been clear-headed every time I've drank. I mean, I've definitely felt a little woozy at times, but never drunk.
Okay.
So I can't relate to your hangover situation, but...
Yeah. Well, just... I am hungover. So, it's
Okay.
gotten better as the day's gone on,
That's
obviously,
good.
but I feel a little better now.
A rough morning then, I imagine.
Yes. So I kind of slept till noon.
Okay.
It just kind of happened. And I got up and my brother was making a lot of noise, so that kind of made me mad. And then I want to go get something quick to eat because we were doing the podcast in a couple hours and I'd have a whole lot of time to, settle in and just hang out. So went up to Subway at the corner near my house.
Yeah.
I was in there for about 30 minutes.
30 minutes? Why is that?
That's probably a little exaggerated. Probably like 20 minutes.
That's pretty much 30 minutes in my eyes.
Yeah. And there was one person behind the counter during the busy
A whole lot of people
lunch.
wanted a sandwich, huh?
Oh, yeah. And there was this one guy. He had 5 people with him.
Wow.
And he was ordering all of them. And it was just a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off even more.
So you didn't go somewhere else? I would have left.
I almost did, but by the time I realized that this was going to take a long time, I was like halfway through the line. I was like, I'm almost there.
Might as well commit.
Yeah. So I did that, and then I was leaving there pissed off.
How was the sandwich?
Awful. It was mediocre.
That sucks.
It's Subway.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting just something a little better.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, whenever you ask for sauce, they just put the whole bottle on the freaking sandwich.
Yeah. That's why everything I ask them to put on there, I say just a pinch of this or just a pinch of that. I say that intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
I do that in any sub shop.
I asked for a line of sauce on my sandwich. They'll be like, oh, we'll do 4.
You know what I'd like?
What?
I'd love some Jersey Mike's. I haven't had that in a while. Totally forgot that one on 14
very long
is there.
time.
I asked for a pinch of lettuce there because they put, I swear, a loaf of lettuce on their
I like
sandwiches.
lettuce a lot.
I like lettuce too, but it can overpower the rest of the sandwich. You have too much on there. I'm talking 3 handfuls worth of lettuce on their sandwiches. It's a little absurd.
Yeah. They do that at Firehouse too.
Do they?
If you're not careful.
Yeah, go light on the lettuce, man.
I actually do like lettuce a lot though, so I don't mind if they overpower my sandwich.
You know what's sad? I'd love to eat salads for, let's say, lunch every day. I'm gonna eat a salad, but salads F me up worse than a cheeseburger or like a taco does.
That's so weird.
I think it's like the fiber in the lettuce or something, dude. One time I had a Zaxby's salad and I pooped green soup for about 3 weeks.
It's not
salad, excuse me. That's exactly why I pooped green soup for about 3 weeks.
That's disgusting.
I'm not 3 weeks. What am I saying? I'm so physically stricken right now that my brain's not functioning completely.
Yes.
3 days is what I meant to say of green soup.
Gotcha.
You ever seen pea soup before?
No.
It's disgusting. That's what it looked like.
You're kind of grossing me out.
Do you like peas? I've never liked peas. I think they're one of the grossest vegetables.
I don't love them, but I'll eat them if they're made for me.
No thanks, man. Not me. That's just green mush.
I'll eat any vegetable if it's put in front of me and it's not disgusting.
Yeah. I'll eat most vegetables, but peas, no thanks.
Yeah, I've never been a huge fan, but they're tolerable.
They're called peas after all.
Yeah.
I want any pea.
They're definitely not the best. Are they beans? What are they?
They're little tiny beans, like little balls, green balls.
Are they considered a bean? That's
Kick cereal? You ever seen Kick cereal? Imagine that, but they're all green.
No, I know what a pea is. I'm asking, is it considered a bean?
I would imagine so. Maybe that or a sprout of some sort.
Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, if you're a pea expert, if you're into the pea-peas.
But that's the main reason why I'm just annoyed today, and then just nothing seems to go right today.
Then we have to do the fucking podcast.
Now we have to do this garbage. We're just kidding.
This garbo.
No, this is one of the highlights of the week, getting to sit here and talk to you about games because I don't talk to games with anyone else. Us. I mean, you and our community.
This is our third week in a row doing this together.
Just us?
Yeah, I think this is the longest, maybe the longest span you and I have ever done consistently of just the two of us, 3 weeks in a row. I don't think we've ever gone past 3 before.
Well, that will for sure be broken, I think, because not next week, but the week after, I probably won't be here for the podcast, depending what day we do it. So.
Oh, Preston's here.
I do too.
That or I'll have to Gavin McGinnis it and just do it solo.
That would be interesting, actually.
I would actually do that. If I had to do it, I would do it.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. How do you think you would approach the show? The same way?
I would go through the notes, but I would just tell stories and just talk as if I was talking to someone, but it's just me.
It'd actually be interesting to see how it would go.
Gavin McGinnis' podcast is just him talking into a mic, and it's one of the most entertaining podcasts I've ever listened to.
Oh, yeah?
It's really weird. It's actually one of the only podcasts I'm listening to at the moment.
It's kind of strange if you think about that. You're just sitting there talking to no one.
I know, just thin air. So, it can be kind of strange.
But yeah, that's mainly why I've had a bad day.
Okay.
But overall, my week was fine, I guess.
That's good.
I mean, it was my birthday week, so.
Yeah, I wanted to apologize, Jacob, on the 27th. At least last week, remember I mentioned that your birthday was on the 27th. At least I knew, but I think I was so busy that day, I just totally slipped my mind that it was your birthday.
I don't care.
I apologize.
It's fine.
Just know that the following day, I was like, shit, Jacob's birthday was yesterday. And I thought that then it'd just be even worse to be like, hey, man, sorry I missed it. So I figured,
happy late birthday.
I figured I'd have the courage to tell you face to face that I blatantly forgot about your birthday.
Well, I don't want you to worry about it.
And just last week, you remember me talking about how I feel about birthdays anyway. So yeah. I'm glad you're alive, Jacob. I'm glad you were born on that day.
Thank you.
I love you passionately.
Thank you.
So
I love you too.
There's a birthday gift I have in store for you if you're willing to accept.
Oh, wow.
Should you choose to accept it, I should say.
Okay.
You know where I'm driving at with that?
No.
Okay. Well, here's the good news, and then I'll get to my physical ailment I'm dealing with. I am attending a motion picture this evening at a local theater that you and I have been to many times together with our good friend Evan Mitchell. You remember Evan Mitchell, right?
I know this man.
Yeah.
He's a listener of the show, correct?
Is he?
I think.
I didn't know that.
I thought
I think he's maybe tuned in a couple times.
Okay. Not a listener of the show.
Maybe. Who knows?
Maybe a listener of the show.
Hit or miss listener of the show. He and I are going on a date to see Mission Impossible Fallout. And obviously I'm excited because I really love the franchise. I love Tom Cruise as an actor. And I realize a lot of people think he's a loon in real life, and probably is. But really big fan of his movies. And I wanted to extend that invitation to you on me, if you're interested.
On you?
Yeah, it's on me. I will buy your ticket if you have nothing else to do, if you feel like just going to see a cool action movie. Mm-hmm. And if you need me to pitch you on it, I have a very good pitch prepared.
I've been wanting to see it.
Okay.
But I'm going to have to decline, Garrett.
Why is that?
I'm super sorry.
You got something going on?
I have family coming over, extended family for a birthday dinner, I guess.
I figure that, since you said you had to be out of here at 4, I figured that might be the case.
Yeah,
but
I'm sorry.
I wanted to throw it out there
because I'm sorry.
I wanted to make up the birthday to you, but
it's okay. Maybe some other time we can go see a movie together.
Yeah. I'm very excited, though.
Yeah, I hope you have a good time.
I'm sure
it's a movie I really want to see. I think it looks good.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, I spent the entire evening on the toilet.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Literally the entire evening?
Almost, just about.
That's the worst.
From about 8 p.m. last night at work all the way until about an hour ago, I had a relentless stomach ache that just plagued me. And it's not the kind that's like it comes and goes every few minutes. I mean, it was nonstop the entire time.
Yeah. Did you have to get someone to cover you at work?
No. I was good. I made it through, but I went home immediately after that and just sat on the toilet.
Sorry.
Basically all night, every couple hours, I'd go back to bed for a couple of minutes and just try to sleep, but I couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. So I think it was a Marco's pizza I had with Casey earlier that day. We ate a ton of Marco's pizza, and it didn't bother her at all, but it just ravaged me for some reason.
I don't know if I've had Marco's, and if I have, it's been a really long time.
It's pretty good, but I tell you what, I'll be thinking twice about having it again.
Yeah.
I've had it a lot, and it's never hurt me like this.
Too, yeah.
But it was awful, man.
I remember a couple years ago, I had a really bad stomach ache, I think, from Taco Bell, and I didn't have it for several months after that. But I eventually got over it because Taco Bell is a godsend.
Yeah, it certainly is.
I almost went today. I should have went today.
Yeah, Mister, just last week, you're like, I think I'm kind of tired of Taco Bell now.
I mean,
have you had a change of heart?
I was just tired at the moment.
Okay, so in this moment, you would consider it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, because I'm full. From that nasty Subway.
Yeah. How disappointing.
I'm never going to Subway again.
Okay, I haven't been there in quite a while. That's a desperation place for me.
Yeah.
So
like I just went because it was close to my house. Like
Yeah.
I didn't really.
that is a great location. It's a shame it's not like something better that's that close to your house. I'd go all the
They're
time.
building a Publix, which is a.
Are they?
I think it's a Southern grocery store.
Wow.
For those that don't know,
Okay.
it's more. It's considered like a. What would you say? Higher class grocery store.
Higher class.
Not even that. It's just things are more expensive.
It's for
there.
people that are better than you, is what Jacob's trying to say.
Yes.
No,
Like
it's
me,
it's
me.
a slightly more expensive. It's not like a Whole Foods or anything, but it's better than Kroger if you know what Kroger is, and it's better than
better
say
is
like
subjective.
it's better than like a Winn-Dixie and stuff. I mean, like
Yeah.
their ingredients, not ingredients. Say here's an example. So Kroger and Publix both. These are both grocery stores.
Ingles.
Yeah, Ingles. I think Ingles might have this too, but they all have Boar's Head deli meat, which is, in my opinion, the best deli meat you can buy. And I've noticed that Publix, their Boar's Head meat is much fresher and tastier than Kroger's, because I don't think Kroger's preserves theirs and takes care of theirs as well as Publix does. Publix is just on a whole nother level of grocery shopping.
Yeah. So everyone around here talks about Subway sub sandwiches, right? Because they have that fresh deli meat.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on Ingles. I think I've said this before, but try an Ingles sub sometime. They're actually really good.
Are you saying it compares to Publix?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, try it.
That's a bold statement, Jacob. Might have to try it for myself
I went there
sometime.
for lunch one day after or during work.
That's the thing about Ingles, man. I've noticed the weirdest people hang out in and around Ingles. Every time I go in there, it's just all these weird people.
Yeah.
And granted, I'm probably one of those weird people to them as well. But
Yeah.
I don't know how they stay open because the parking lots are relatively empty at all times. And I go in there and it's just like, you'd swear it's just homeless people walking around in there. It's very weird.
It's true. Yeah.
So
I don't know. I feel like Ingles has I think when it comes down to it, Ingles has a branding problem because it just looks so boring. All the Ingles you go to.
it's not very exciting.
It's like when you see Publix, you got those bright green letters on the story, like, oh, this place is it's happening.
Yeah.
When you go to Ingles, it's like a lowercase I. It's like red and like usually
It looks very
look
cartoony and stuck in the 90s. Essentially, is what it looks like. I could use a bit of rebranding, I bet.
Like, I feel like that'd be huge for him.
Now, conversely, I feel like a total loser when I go into Whole Foods because everyone there's super fit. They look like they just came from the gym. They're picking up their fruits and veggies and their frou-frou beverages and stuff. And I'm going in there for like a bag of kettle chips. They have like a flavor of kettle chips I haven't seen before. I'm like, I think I'll take these. So,
well, nice, man. Well,
you ever been into Whole Foods before?
A couple times, yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool place. Very expensive.
Yep.
Cool place though.
You pay for the good stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, as I mentioned, I was constipated in the toilet all night long. And every time I got a little bit out of me, Jacob, I would literally rejoice to the Lord because I was just praying I could just get it out because I could just feel it sitting in me.
Yeah.
I'm so constipated that it just barely comes out.
That's great.
It was hell. It was true hell, Jacob.
Yeah.
I watched several episodes of My Hero while in the toilet.
Have you started the new season?
Not yet. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos.
Okay.
Scrolled through every social media imaginable because you're sitting there on the porcelain throne, wasting your life away all night long. You got to do something. So it was a productive dumping, I should say. Even though there was minimal dumping, it was productive.
Yeah, you could have played some nice Mario Tennis.
I thought about it. Yeah, I just didn't have the not really the courage, but the will to physically do something. I just wanted to sit there in peace. But I'll tell you this, Jacob. I realized by the end of the night that hell hath no fury like an anus scorned. It was truly terrible.
I'm sorry you had that experience.
And I can still slightly feel it still creeping out on me. And I'm hoping I don't dump my brains out in Mission Impossible later.
Ew.
So it'd be rude and disrespectful and rather embarrassing. So other than that, good to go. I have my ginger ale over here.
Is it helping?
Soothing the bowels, hopefully a little bit. I think it's a mental thing for me. Now Sprite almost always helps my tummy.
That's what you need.
Yeah. Maybe I'll have that at the film tonight.
It's been quite a while since I've had a good Sprite.
Sprite's great.
Yeah. Like I don't ever buy it. It's never like my number one choice, but I feel like I'm overdue for a good Sprite.
It's one of my favorites. I just like it on a nice hot summer day, the lemon lime soda. It's good stuff.
You want to tell me about what you played this week?
Yeah, I played a few things, Jacob. I played No Man's Sky.
Okay. And tell me about this. So No Man's Sky, they had this big update. A lot has changed. There's multiplayer now.
Yes.
How were your experiences with it?
Pretty good. I played it exclusively on stream so far this week. I played it twice for a total of about 3.5, 4 hours. And the opening is much better than the original opening. It's a little more hand-holdy.
You start over?
I started over intentionally just because I knew it was a big update and I didn't feel like playing on PS4. So opening's pretty solid. It really teaches you the ropes as far as crafting things and farming things and then new gear that you have and things you can build that help you scavenge other materials and traveling to and from different planets and building your first base and everything. It kind of explains to you that you can warp to your base at any time if you build like a little teleporter or whatever.
Even if you like you're way far away, you can warp back.
Yeah, you could be 3 star systems away and you could warp back to your home planet and to your base.
It's pretty cool.
So I played very briefly with Boggle on stream in multiplayer. We were somewhat near each other, but most of the time he was off on the other side of the planet doing something while I was doing something else. But I can tell that if I put time into it, I'd be really, really into it. I think, I don't know if I like streaming it. I think it's boring to watch, but when you're playing it with friends and just by yourself, I think it's more fun. Okay. But really love the base building. I know that's kind of been it's been in the game prior to the next update, but I can see myself getting really into that. Just building this metropolis of a fortress on a distant planet somewhere, and then just having that there, and someone can probably come across it at some point.
Yeah. Can you shoot people?
You can. There's multiple weapons. There was some sort of weapon in the original version of the game. I can't remember what it was called, but there's the bolt caster now and a couple others that you can build and shoot aliens with.
Okay. You can't shoot players though.
Not that I know of. I don't think so. That'd be kind of interesting if there was PvP in the game.
Yeah.
I guess you kill someone and get whatever resources they have on them. But I know you can acquire freighters now. I've heard a couple of different people tell the same story where they'll come across this freighter being attacked by pirates and they'll save the people on the freighter and the captain will be like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just going to give you my freighter. They just hand it over to you and you have your own freighter.
Thanks, I guess.
So I really love the player customization too. It's not too in-depth, but there are a decent amount of options as far as the styles of helmet and armor and gloves, boots, different color schemes and styles of each one.
That's cool.
So a little more personalization there. That's greatly appreciated. I'm the kind of guy where I'll customize my guy and I'll be sick of it 2 minutes later and be like, I'm not happy with this. I got to change it back.
Oh, so you can change it, Will.
You can. There's a bunch of default styles as well, but you can also customize each one however you like.
Are there microtransactions?
There are not. Not that I know of. I don't think so.
That's good for their sake.
Yeah. But, I mean, that game's can be very deep if you really get to know it. I've been able to see. I mean, as far as just how you acquire money and how you invest it in certain things and build up your character and your ships and all that. So,
what was the coolest planet you've seen?
I haven't seen too many cool planets so far. I mean, I guess the planet I built my little hut on originally during the opening was kind of cool. It was very grassy and sort of tropical. But if I was to say make my home on a planet, I'd want it to be relatively tropical and maybe beachy with water and friendly creatures and stuff. But I read this pretty interesting article from a Kotaku writer, how she was searching, not really frantically, but just searching far and wide for a planet where she could call home and like build her official base there. And it's a cool story how she bounced to and from all these different planets she had seen and experienced. And she finally found one that kind of looked like it was in the mountains with like really tall trees and nature. And there's like a big lake out at the bottom of this cliff. And that's where she decided to settle down. So stories like that, and also the photo mode is a big part of it too. I think photo mode was in the original game as well. But
it was.
I'm pretty sure it was. I remember no, maybe it wasn't, and I just took a lot of screenshots on PS4. I think that's what it was. Yeah. I think photo mode was added later, but yeah, photo mode's a really awesome part of it too. I think that alone is selling a lot of people on it because not only they're hearing these cool stories from people.
Yeah, the game's always looked fantastic.
Yeah, but all the screenshots just make it look even more inviting. So I think that's a big part of it as well as far as selling the game. But yeah, everyone seems pretty satisfied with the update. And I've definitely had fun with it. I don't know how much time I'm going to sink into it, but from what I've played, I could see if I put the time in, it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I played that. Mega Man X, which I've almost beaten on Switch, but I struggled greatly on stream. It's the weirdest thing. I just sucked that morning, but I was rudely reminded just how difficult that game can be because I hadn't played it since PSP, which is whatever year that came out for PSP. It was the 3D version of Mega Man X.
Yeah. Were you playing with a controller on PC?
I was, yeah.
Okay.
I guess I just wasn't feeling it that morning. I sucked. I literally couldn't beat anyone but the first boss.
You must be an idiot.
And I struggled to remember the order of the bosses too, but since playing it on Switch, I've kind of had a refresher and everything. So maybe for the sake of it, I might stream that again this week and actually play through it and beat it now that I remember all the correct things to do and where all the hidden items and armor pieces and stuff are. But love that game to death. Very excited to get into X2 and 3 later on. But Mega Man X is awesome. Really like all the options in the collection as far as graphically how you can tweak it and aspect ratio. And even though I wouldn't change it to 16:9 because it just stretches it and it looks ridiculous. But as far you can make it look like the original NES or SENS version with like on an old TV, or you can have it smoothed out to look a little crisper and stuff. A lot of awesome concept art. I think there's a animation in there. There's all the music tracks you can just listen to whenever. So there's a lot of stuff packed into it, and it's just still one of my favorite games of all time by far.
You excited for the new one this fall?
Oh, 11? Definitely. Yeah. It's obviously that's a different Mega Man. It's Mega Man in the past.
I know, yeah, but it's the next one.
But that was super hard too at E3. Yeah. I mean, I made it through both levels, but I couldn't beat either boss at the time. So I imagine both those bosses in the demo counteracted each other, because that's a big part of Mega Man, as you know, is just acquiring the weapons and then figuring out which boss is weak to whichever weapon from another boss.
Yeah.
So thankfully I figured all that out in Mega Man again, and I can jump back into it on stream and actually play through it like I intended originally.
Yeah.
But really loving Mega Man, of course. Great game to play in the Go as well. Of course, I played Hunt Showdown, which I will, of course, be playing the F out of later tonight.
Oh, nice.
I've been away for a while, and every time I play it, man, it's just wonderful. I watched a couple of streamers when I was on the toilet last night, because that's how desperate I got. I was like, I guess I'm going to watch some live streams, which I never do.
Yeah.
Watched this one guy, foreigner from somewhere. I wasn't sure what language he was speaking, but he was Prestige. He's been playing much longer. See, I thought I'd played a long time, which I definitely have, but compared to some people, man, people have been playing 10 times as long as I have.
Yeah.
So fun stuff, though.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I'm glad you have a game that you like playing a lot and you can go back to all the time. It's kind of what Overwatch has been for me.
Yeah, speaking of which, I guess we'll talk about that in a minute, about the finals in Atlanta and stuff.
Yeah.
Played more Assassin's Creed Origins. Still really digging that. I'm probably going to continue nicking away with that here and there on stream. Probably play a little off stream as well, just to get through it.
I was thinking about starting that up too.
It's pretty fun. I really do like it. I have no complaints whatsoever. It's beautiful. It runs very well in PC. All the side quests I've done are pretty fun. I mean, they typically result in some kind of combat scenario, but when you actually pay attention to what the narrative is surrounding the side quests and everything, it's always worth seeking those out, and you level up faster. A lot of cool treasures to find and everything. And just every location is awesome in one way or another. So really enjoying that so far. And the combat is great too. I still don't think it's like the best combat I've ever played in like a third-person action game, but it's way better than it used to be, that's for sure. So really excited for Odyssey naturally, and glad I'm finally nicking away at Origins.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know if I'll start it this week, or I don't know if I'll start it anytime soon, actually, because I don't know if I have enough time to finish it before the new WoW expansion comes out, and I don't want to like start it and then stop playing it, and then because all I'm going to want to do when that comes out is just play WoW. So I might just play something smaller up until then. Like maybe I'll start Celeste. I don't know.
I need to do that
Celeste.
too. As soon as I wrap up Mega Man X, maybe I'll beat Celeste and then go back to Mega Man and play the other X's. But because Celeste has just been sitting there, I played through, like I said, like 25% of it. But the game's awesome. That'd be a great one to stream, I think.
Yeah, I might do.
So, but yeah, that's all I played. What'd you play?
I played some more Overwatch. Played more WoW. Still trying to grind that rep up so I can start playing a new character race. What else? I think I finished Ori, or did I finish that last week? I think I finished it this week. That was fun. Ori's a great game. We played more Mario Tennis and Kart on stream. That was a good time. I've been playing more Octopath Traveler. I have Ophelia, Cyrus, and I'm almost done with Tressa, her little intro story. Basically, some pirates stole some goods from the town that she started in.
Pirates, huh?
Oh, yeah. We're trying to retrieve those items and teach those pirates a lesson.
I'm surprised you didn't join them, because you said it was your dream to be a pirate.
It is.
You didn't betray this character to
I don't
become
have
a pirate?
the choice, unfortunately.
Okay.
So I had to kill him. But the game's, I mean, everyone said this, everyone and their mom, it's a fantastic looking game. The music's great. The combat's really good. It's comparable to Persona in a way. Just like the fact that you can damage all the enemies at once and stuff like that. Just like I haven't played a good RTS, not RTS.
Turn-based?
Turn-based, yes. Sorry, a good turn-based game since then. So that's why it's reminding me of Persona.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm enjoying that game a lot, and that's really all I think I played this week. Nothing. I didn't start anything new.
Nice.
So
that's great, Jake. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, man.
Is there anything else we need to talk about before we jump into the news?
I shaved and I got a haircut.
How do you feel about that?
I like it.
Feel fresh?
Yeah, I always like shaving when I have a lot of facial hair sometimes, just because it feels relieving, just to be able to feel my face again. But I did get a haircut. It's
looking real handsome.
Yeah, I just like wearing hats.
I got that. Yeah, so does Preston. I wish Preston would rock his head more often. I enjoy it.
Yeah, he's got a good head.
He does. It's fun to rub.
I like when he's here.
Me too. Hopefully he'll return next week. Yeah, he's not. That house situation's been a nightmare for him. I think they're finally coming around the bend, though. Last I spoke with him, everything seems to be wrapping up, thankfully.
Hope to have him back next week.
Yeah, I imagine he'll be here. I've got a good feeling about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think there is.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to report.
My old tum-tums really bothering me still. Trying to stay focused here. Not on my bowels.
I have faith that we can make it through this.
I think so. Let's jump in then. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the It's Obvious podcast where my best friends and I gather every single week to discuss video games and other things. If you're listening to this podcast anywhere on the internet besides youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming, we strongly encourage you guys to drop by there and subscribe if you're willing. Despite the fact we are not investing much time into YouTube videos at the moment, the podcast, the video version of the podcast does live here, and we have a ton of content in the past that I still think is pretty solid. I've been reflecting a lot on our YouTube content, which I'll talk about in a minute.
Okay.
But yeah, please come over and subscribe on YouTube and comment on this video version of this podcast if you're willing, so we can track a bit better out there if people are searching for various podcasts or any type of content regarding the news or main topic we discussed today. They'll be able to find it easier. And we just like hearing from you guys. I know we have Discord as well, which we'll always talk on, but if you're willing to help us out and throw us a like, subscription, and just comment on this video, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, we would seriously appreciate that.
Additionally, this podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Audio Boom, Stitcher, Blueberry, and like 50 other services that I can't even keep track of. It's a lot of little ones that I imagine maybe one or two people listen on those platforms.
I want to see what Blueberry is.
But this podcast is what I'm getting at here is that this podcast is available on your favorite streaming service, more or less. So you have those options as well. And if you're also willing to rate, review, and subscribe to us on iTunes, not iTunes, Apple Podcast, that helps us out tremendously because it's been a long-term goal of ours that may never happen at this point without your help, is to land on the new and noteworthy page on iTunes, because it gains us a lot more exposure, and we're looking to grow, of course. We've been steadily growing over the years, and we want to reach a point where we can invest more creativity and time and finances into our quote-unquote content, bro. We want to be content creators, dude.
Yeah, we want to be... I forgot the word.
What are you going for?
I don't know.
Personalities.
Yeah,
okay.
That was the word I wanted.
I'm not worried about being a personality. I just would like an excuse to make videos with my buddies every day.
Yeah.
Aside from just like Let's Plays and stuff, because I know we're capable of so much more. It's just such an investment of time, as we discussed.
There's not enough time in the day.
Right.
It sucks.
So, with your help, we can reach it. All that out of the way, though, let's jump into the news.
Hey, man, what's the news?
Thank you, Jacob. This is a bit unorganized. I did not have a chance to actually organize it this week because I was so
we're going to do what
busy.
we can, you know.
Plus, I was on the toilet all night, and I didn't have the willpower to do it either. It would have been, like I said, it would have been productive, but I just didn't want to move my hands too much.
Yeah, I get it.
So let's see what we can start with here. Overwatch. So first things first, Overwatch. The finals were on ESPN, weren't they?
And Disney XD.
Okay, because it was the funniest thing how
and Twitch
at Smithsville Bar where I run sound in the main restaurant area, it was on every TV.
Oh, yeah?
The Overwatch finals.
That's crazy.
I was like, that's crazy. It's on ESPN.
Yeah.
So then I go back into the room I'm working at, and the other sound guy who's working in a different room comes in. He like had taken a picture of the TV. He knows very little about video games. He's like, dude, what is this? He's like, it's on ESPN right now. I'm like, oh, that's Overwatch. And I told him all about it. Mm-hmm. He thought it was the funniest thing. There was a video game on ESPN.
Yeah.
But I figured it must have been something big, and then I realized it was the finals.
Was it like ESPN, their main channel?
Yeah.
Holy
ESPN,
shit.
The ESPN.
I didn't know that.
So I was like, wow,
because they've been
crazy.
on like ESPN2 and like the side ESPNs, you know, like ESPN 8 the Ocho.
So yeah, 8 the Ocho is my favorite branch of ESPN.
I was watching, that movie was on last night. I
it's a classic.
Of it.
You lose, LaFleur. I think my favorite line, a couple favorite lines. I like the one at the end where he's like, you still lose, LaFleur. He's like, I wouldn't trade you your gym back for all of King Midas's silver. It's so funny. Great lines in that movie.
Ben Stiller.
I think that's one of his best roles by far.
Oh yeah.
White Goodman.
I don't know, dude. Not at the museum.
I actually like that movie a lot.
I'm not a fan of those movies.
I love that quote from Robin Williams, the name of that Day to Remember song, where he's like, "I'm made of wax, Larry. What are you made of?" It's beautiful. I love it. Anyway, Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
So aside from the finals, how'd you feel about London winning? You know what the funniest thing is? Side note?
Yes.
Don't call me racist because I'm not a racist, but I just thought this was so humorous for some reason. How when I hear London, I think all these Brits like, let's go get some pints. Yeah, let's do this. Play some Overwatch. I'm going to play Tracer because I'm a Brit too. This is what I'm expecting. And it's all Asian guys. Yeah. Well, how did they, is it just all British people of Asian descent? Is that what it is?
See, the Cloud9, they're an organization, or an esports organization.
Can they recruit players from any country?
Yeah, they bought a Korean team.
Okay, let me think of it this way. I guess it's like the NBA or the NFL where they can draft anyone from anywhere if they're going into the NFL. So that's how it works. You don't have to be tied to that. Because it really confused me for a second. Because I was under the impression it's like a FIFA style or MLS style where it's like these are the people from the, granted, I think the American team has a bunch of foreigners on it too. So
yeah.
I'm losing my mind, Jacob.
Almost every team has at least a Korean player. Right?
Okay, well, I was expecting like Sherlock Holmes and like Harry Potter and stuff on this Overwatch team, but it's all Asian guys.
You're not alone. Like you'll see in the Twitch streams, like sometimes people just be like, "Why are they all Asian? Why are they all Korean?"
Badass though.
Yeah,
that's really awesome for them.
They were a really good team all year. They sort of struggled like halfway through the year, and they started losing a lot of games. Mm-hmm. But I mean, they came alive in the playoffs. They were the 5th seed, I think. It was the 5th seed versus the 6th seed in the finals. It was weird. Like the favorite all year, the New York Excelsior. Yeah, they lost in the semifinals, and everyone they only lost 4 or 5 games all year.
I guess the LA Valiant blew. Yeah. LA Valiant sucked.
No, they were good. They were the 2nd seed.
Okay, because
they won the last stage playoffs.
I watched their very first game, and I never watched anything after that. Not that I didn't really want to. I don't know why I didn't.
Yeah, they were also another semifinal loser. Okay. Because both of those teams had byes, and then Philly played New York, and then London played Valiant.
So in Overwatch League, if they win the finals, is it just a big bonus and the notoriety and the fame and the glory?
Yes, all of that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they just make a lot of money.
The organization gets a huge bonus.
And they're recognized for being the best.
Yep.
So how long is the break until the next season?
I think early next year. Same time as the one happened this year.
When did it start? Like April-ish?
I think it was... No. It started like January.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
The preseason was not this year, but the last year.
Okay.
Like December or something.
So bring me up on the potential of an Atlanta team coming about for season 2.
Oh, it's guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, they already bought the spot.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they paid the $30 million or however much it is.
Riddle me this: if there's a home game, will it actually be in Atlanta?
Not yet. No, okay, I think the 2nd season is still in LA.
Bummer.
But the 3rd season will be city based. Apparently.
No way. Like people travel to and from cities.
Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know everything about this, so I might be wrong, but I think that's their plan.
Man.
But I'm pretty sure it's still going to be LA based.
Let's pitch some team names. It's got to be good because think about how awesome Atlanta's team names are. We have the Atlanta Falcons, we have the Atlanta Hawks, we have the Atlanta United, which is by far the coolest team name. Atlanta Dream, if you want to throw the WNBA in there. We used to have the Atlanta Thrashers. Yeah, that was a cool name too. Yeah, all birds are sports teams, except for the Dream.
So do we need to keep it bird based?
Not bird based. I don't think so. I'm tired of the birds.
What about the Atlanta Colas?
The Atlanta Cokes. Sponsored by Coke, everything.
Yeah.
I think
the Atlanta Peaches.
It's difficult because I think they'll probably have to go Braves colors. Is there a team that has Braves colors already?
Yes, New York's blue and red.
Okay, what?
But they could do a different
Is there a blue and gold? There's a blue and gold team, isn't there? Isn't it like
no?
There's not a blue and gold. I think that'd be pretty cool.
What about like blue? Well, there's kind of blue and white. There's dark blue and white.
Okay.
There's dark blue, white, and light blue. That's Dallas.
Oh man, I feel like every color scheme's been taken.
Yeah, you have to be creative at this point because a lot of them are taken.
Yeah, what about I don't know,
like red and yellow is taken, green and black is taken, gold and black.
Well, black and orange, like Halloween colors.
I don't think so. I mean, San Francisco's yellow, orange, and white, kind of.
Okay,
but they have like that neon orange.
Well, do you want to use our brains to think of a color scheme while I filter out this air for a few seconds?
Yes.
All right, let's think about it. I didn't think of a color scheme.
Same.
What about a team name?
What about just like black and red? I don't think that's done.
Red and black? Oh, dude, all day. It's obvious gaming colors all day.
Yeah. Red, black, and white.
Yeah.
It's like the Falcons.
That'd be gnarly.
And like the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, we'll call them the Atlanta...
Atlanta...
I bet Ludacris will sponsor him somehow.
Atlanta Ludas?
Yeah, the Atlanta Ludas.
The
Atlanta move bitch get out the ways. How about that?
That's pretty good, yeah.
The Atlanta Young Jeezys.
The Welcome to Atlanta where the players play.
Yeah. That'll be their hometown song when they walk out.
What if they did?
I'm struggling with names, but I think color scheme red, black, and white would be awesome. So it was the funniest thing when we saw that and you sent it to the group. We were like time to try out. Yeah. Time to stream Overwatch relentlessly until we're good enough to be pros.
That's right. So
Atlanta could also then recruit anyone from anywhere.
That's right. Yeah, they could buy up any team they wanted.
I wish they could do an open tryout like Invincible with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah,
we all show up at a stadium somewhere. They have all these stations set up, and we just compete for a spot on the team.
Yeah, I think to even be considered for like a tryout, you have to be in like the top 500 on Overwatch and their leaderboards.
All these teams have merch, don't they?
You had to have been there before.
Okay.
What did you say?
Can you buy merch for all these teams?
You can't for the ones that are already established. Yeah.
Yeah. So currently, if I wanted to, I could order an LA Valiant shirt.
Oh yeah.
So that means I could order an Atlanta shirt when they exist.
Next year.
That's awesome.
I know. I'm excited.
Totally getting.
I finally have a reason to get some merch now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Because I didn't I supported Dallas the first season, right?
Yeah.
But I wasn't like. It's weird that I'm supporting Dallas. Like I'm never gonna go see them if I'm a fan, you know. So, but I can actually go. Like if things turn out how I think they will, I'll actually be able to go see Atlanta play.
I would love that.
Overwatch.
Please let me tag along.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That'd
we'll have to go.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually. This was probably the most exciting news for me this week. So
it's very exciting.
Yeah. And honestly, I wasn't expecting Atlanta to have a team because there's been rumors of places that are getting teams supposedly this year or the next season. And I never really heard Atlanta until yesterday when I saw the tweet from, I think it was actually Game Informer that I saw the tweet first. So,
all right.
Yeah, I got super excited.
That's awesome.
I had to share it with you guys.
What was I going to say? It was very important. Oh, yeah. I guess it's not that important. It's just exciting. I had a blast with you on stream the other night playing Overwatch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you and I think Harley was there. I think, was Jay there? J-Rev?
Yeah, J-Rev was there. We had several people stopping through there.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun. I knew when I got back into that game that I would fall in love with it again, and I would love to play it again in the near future.
I'll probably stream it a little bit this week.
That'd be awesome. I should be available a couple nights.
Yeah, we'll have to kind of see when you're available and plan ahead.
Sick, man, sick.
Yeah, I at least stream it at least once or twice a week. I love playing that game.
Well, here's a good segue. Speaking of Twitch, I saw that various Twitch streamers are getting their own charms for guns in Rainbow Six Siege. Did you see those?
No.
Dude, coolest thing. You know,
they're making things for streamers on the game. Okay.
Like your favorite streamer, you can earn or purchase their little icon that serves as a charm that dangles around in your gun. And some of them look so cool, and I just imagine what like an OG charm would look like. I mean, that'll never happen, but I was like, that'd be so cool to have.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was a really cool touch for Twitch streamers to have their followers and fans be able to buy that.
A lot.
It's really cool.
RC6 is doing a lot of good things.
It is awesome game. I'm trying
not exactly my cup of tea, but you know.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep our game and movie news separate.
Okay.
Because it's not in order, but there's some decent movie news to discuss too. Game wise, Tomb Raider's gone gold. Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
That's fantastic.
This has gone gold, and there's been a discussion floating around that I've been intrigued by. I don't think they're going to change the date, but whether they should get review copies into the hands of media and personalities long before, as soon as possible, honestly, before Spider-Man and Red Dead and all that comes out, because obviously Tomb Raider comes out a week after Spider-Man.
I didn't think about that.
And shortly thereafter, we have Call of Duty, we have Red Dead, so it's going to get ravaged. I mean, granted, Tomb Raider does have a big fan base and it's multi-platform, thankfully, right out the gate.
Yeah,
but it's threatened greatly by many games, and I think if they got it into the hands of reviewers and set the embargo at like 2 weeks before release, that would do really good things for them. Granted, you don't want to hype it up to, let's say theoretically it's very well received. Obviously, you don't want to hype it up too long before release because then the hype can die down. We know what that's like. But God of War, I think God of War, remember, their embargo was a couple weeks or a week and a half.
Super early.
Yeah, and I was still hyped for that, so maybe I'd be hyped for Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I was only hyped, though, because everyone was saying it was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
And it was.
And Tomb Raider, they could give it 9s and 10s across the board, and I still don't think it would change. Because I'm moderately excited for it. I played it at E3. It's just like any other Tomb Raider so far. I mean, of course, there's bigger tombs to explore. The environment looks cool. Still not totally on board with Laura's story. I think the demo I played was interesting. I hope it follows through with that through the rest of the game, but I'm moderately excited for that. I don't think any review score is going to change my perception because I'm distracted by Spider-Man and Red Dead. If those games weren't coming, if it was a 10 out of 10, I'd probably be significantly more excited.
Don't forget about Destiny Forsaken too, same week.
Yeah, even that, because Destiny has a fan base. What little's left of it, we should say.
it's not same week as Tomb Raider. Spider-Man, Destiny, same week. Tomb Raider the following week, correct? But yeah, I never really thought about this. It probably is a good idea for Square Enix, for them to get copies to
get some positive
reviewers.
coverage before it gets too close.
Because I'm sure they probably have an idea when Spider-Man is going to kind of, be doing that for their all the news for that game.
Yeah,
so
people will have codes for
that
by the middle of August. People probably have codes for that to review. So
yeah, it's challenging. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to play it regardless.
Tomb Raider?
Yeah, I won't be playing it until probably Christmas time.
Yeah, it's going to be on my backlog for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I just played Rise. I really enjoy that series.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
Yeah, both the first two are great.
I don't think it's as good as Uncharted by any means.
No.
A lot of people compare it to that, but I mean, it's still good in its own right. It does things that Uncharted doesn't do.
Yeah, I like Lara Croft too. She's cool.
Yeah, she's a good. I was going to say antagonist, but protagonist.
She kind of is the antagonist in the new one.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out for him. But I just thought that was interesting. It already went gold, so that was pretty big news this week.
Did you ever finish Rise of the Tomb Raider? Didn't you say you got to the end?
I'm not even kidding, to basically the final boss sequence, and I was just like, I think I get it.
It's not worth finishing.
And I moved on. So
there is an ending that's kind of interesting, though. I don't know if you've heard about that.
I'll probably just look it up because I've seen everything that you can do. I cleared every area too. I did literally everything you could do.
I didn't do that. I just played through the game.
I can just go back and watch probably the last 5 minutes of the game and get what I need out of it.
Yeah, you should watch the fight, maybe, or skip to the end of the fight and then watch there's an end scene credit.
Mm-hmm.
So you should watch that.
Okay, I'll check it out before.
It's
before Shadow.
Interesting.
So, Vampire's getting new game modes. I thought this was kind of cool for fans of Vampire. I don't think I would ever replay Vampire because I think the story I experience, obviously was based on my own decisions, is what I'm satisfied with. I'm weird about replaying games where you make decisions that actually craft the ending and the course of the story, because I feel like that was my experience. I don't feel like it'll feel the same if I follow it anywhere else. I like watching other endings and other scenarios on YouTube and stuff afterwards, but I wouldn't want to play through it again.
So Witcher, that's kind of the same way.
Yeah. Like my Witcher story was my Witcher story. If I want to see other stuff, and not that I don't want to play the game because it's an awesome game.
It's a big
but
investment. Right?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play all the way through purely for story again.
Yeah.
But Vampire is getting two modes, one of which I think will attract a certain audience that seem to complain about the combat a lot, is a mode where you can play through the game with minimal combat, like very little, and it's mostly just story and making decisions, which I think is cool. It's kind of more dramatic. I mean, it's still dramatic in the game, but it's less action-packed. It feels less like an action game and more like a true through and through RPG type experience. So that's kind of cool. And there's also, conversely to that, there's a hardcore mode coming where there's significantly more combat. And not only is it more combat, but it's far more difficult to not only kill your enemies, but to gain experience is much less than before.
Okay.
So people that are looking for a really difficult challenge, or just a challenge, I should say.
So it kind of sounds like it might be grindy or something, like you have to kill
sort
enemies
of
to get experience.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think it's cool to have the default vanilla version and then the more narrative-based one and the heavy combat version. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I always appreciate that in a game like an RPG where you can approach it depending how you want to play it. That's kind of cool.
And again, I said this in my review, the combat isn't groundbreaking by any means, but I thought it served the game fine. I was never particularly annoyed or bored by it. Now, I will say the boss battle at the end, which I meant to say when we had a question last week regarding boss battles in games, Vampire, I think, had an unnecessary boss battle because I don't think anything in the game really needed a boss for whatever reason.
It didn't really warrant a boss battle.
Yeah, definitely not. But I mean, it wasn't out of place. Like, it made sense in the narrative, but I thought just how it was kind of weird. But
was it not good?
It was good. I mean, it was a solid boss. It was very hard too. And I was playing on normal and I was challenged significantly. I actually have it on Cog's YouTube channel because I thought it was such an epic battle, how many close calls I had to dying that I uploaded it.
You want to plug your video?
Yeah, if you haven't beaten the game, I don't recommend watching because some people were pissed that we spoiled it, but we waited like 4 or 5 days after it released. And I figured by then most people had beaten it.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was a random boss battle, but I don't even remember why I brought that up. I think we were just talking about the combat.
Yeah, we were just talking about Vampire and how the things they had to do.
Cool game though, especially around Halloween time. If you want to play like a spooky, eerie, Halloween-ish type game, Vampire's a good one. Granted, we'll all be playing Red Dead, but if you want to dabble in something else, I highly recommend Vampire. It's a good one. What else we got to talk about?
You tell me.
So this is very refreshing, and it blew my mind, Jacob. I kid you not, I've never seen anything like this on YouTube in my entire life.
Okay.
So a couple weeks ago, COG attended the EA Summit, Sports Summit in San Francisco for the new Madden, FIFA, NHL, and NBA.
I'm already falling asleep.
Yeah. I originally was going to go, but I couldn't go because of work, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because it was a ton of work to cover it. It's actually...
Let me interrupt you. Didn't you go to like one of those a couple of years ago?
I did last year.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was cool getting to see San Francisco for the first time. But like the sports games kill me, man. Like don't get me wrong, they're not bad. I'm just like not that into them.
It's only the EA ones.
So yeah, writing. I already told you how I feel about writing. I hate writing about things, but when I have to write, I at the very least hope it's something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Like writing about Far Cry Mars DLC, dude. F me, that was awful. And I'm glad because my thoughts aligned with many other critics. I thought I may have been alone in that, but many of them said a lot of the same things I did. So I knew I wasn't losing my mind.
Yeah.
But
so it's not worth picking up?
No.
In short?
No.
Okay.
It sucked so much, dude. I was like, and it was Ubisoft Shanghai who developed it. I was like, I know they've developed stuff in the past, but I was like, I rarely hear about Ubisoft Shanghai. I mean, it was a literal step back in terms of gameplay and Mars DLC. It was just terrible. But
I guess I can
graphically,
Far Cry 5.
graphically beautiful. That's all it really has going for it.
I have it still installed on Steam because I was hoping the DLC might be good.
No, it blows. Now maybe the zombie one will be kind of cool. I think that has the most potential. No, I mean we don't have enough zombie games anyway, so thankfully we're getting another
You're
one.
right, man.
So, but in all seriousness, I do think that has the most potential out of all of them. But it's just such a shame to me because Far Cry 5, in my opinion, is one of the best games of the year easily. And critically, it's just been overwhelmingly received well.
Yeah.
And I had an absolute blast with that. But then same thing with Wolfenstein 2, and then they have this crappy DLC come out, and then it just kind of soils its appearance, I think. Yeah. I don't think that'll affect the game and say game of the year season and everything, or just award season in general. But I do think that's going to be in the back of people's minds. Like, not that it has anything to do with the base game. I just think that kind of soils your perception of it.
It's kind of unfortunate these companies, like I feel like they feel the need, like they need
DLC. I'm like, if you're not going to make it really spectacular, or at least almost meet the excellency of whatever your base game is, just don't even do it at all. I know you want that extra bit of cash and you want to feel like people are truly getting their money's worth out of it. But
we can just sit here and we can say that, like we're not running the business right. So like we definitely don't see the dividends come in. At
the end of the day, I think it's mostly a publisher thing about the DLC. Like we need to scrounge every penny out of it. I'm not saying they're all evil. Like we need to get all the money out of all of our customers.
It's a business. But they're making money, right?
I mean, I feel like if people are buying it, which I'm one of them, I bought it to play it. They're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. Like every DLC can't be like Blood and Wine for Witcher.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Witcher.
exactly.
Like,
I mean,
I almost like that more than the base game at some moments.
Yeah, they made some serious improvements to it as well.
The world was so beautiful.
Yeah, it was gorgeous. That's the thing about CD Projekt Red's world is that whenever you're in a smaller area, it already looks graphically better because they have more room to work with. Like Kaer Morhen, for example, was easily the most beautiful part of the game because graphically it was just rock solid and ran as smooth as possible because it was one of the smaller sections of the game.
Contained.
So that's why the DLC looked so good. It was because of that. Man, that game's so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm about to poop the rest of my my junk out just thinking about Cyberpunk.
Oh, God.
Every now and then I'll go jam to the trailer song.
Oh, yeah. I played the trailer
so
at least once a week.
That's a great song to work out to.
I have like trailers that I like to look at every week just to, remind myself that I'm excited.
Yeah. And I'm a big dreamer.
The music is so good.
It is awesome.
I love it.
Get real hyped. Anyway, we were way off topic there.
Yeah.
So what I saw on YouTube that blew my mind was, one, I blew my mind how well COG's coverage is doing for all these sports games. They're getting thousands upon thousands of views. I'm like, this is unnatural for COG. I think they just got it out before everyone else did.
That's good.
And but what blew my mind the most is NBA Live 19's mode called The One. It's their campaign mode. Now, I reviewed NBA Live 18, and one of the better aspects of that game was, one of the better aspects of that game was this new mode called The One, where it's very RPG heavy. It's basically the single player campaign where you go from a street rat to a pro. And
street rat.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I won't go into grave detail, but you have perks and stuff you can align with your players. Say you're a small forward, you can add a perk that's like, you can rebound balls easier, or you have a slight burst in speed when you're doing a fast break and stuff like that. It really customize your play style. Mm-hmm. So it was really, really a unique idea for a sports game that I thought was the strongest aspect of it. Now, unfortunately, halfway through the campaign, I got to this point where the game would just repeatedly crash at the same part over and over and over again. I tried it like 15 times, and I literally could not progress any further, so I had to give it a pretty bad score because of that reason. It was literally game breaking. But anyway, there were people who really enjoyed that, I found out. And I was one of them.
The game-breaking bug?
Yeah, everyone loved the bug, but the one mode people responded really well to, and I was one of them. I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to pick up another NBA game, but I do like that mode. I think it's very unique for a sports game.
If you were ever to get into a sports game, like that kind of
RPG and I love basketball, so that's the kind of sports game I think I'd like to play, where I'm not only I even use the face scan mode. Remember, I have that little clip on our Instagram. It's freaky how accurate it is. Anyway, fast forward to this year, NBA Live 19's gameplay footage goes up with like a little VO blurb from Trevor, the guy who was at the event.
Okay.
He talks about it for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then it's just raw gameplay for another 3 or 4 minutes after that. Jacob, I have never seen such a positive response to a video game in my life. It was the most refreshing thing I've ever bared witness to in my life. You mean like
the comment section?
Yeah. I mean, everyone was like, holy crap, this looks so awesome. They fixed it. This looks amazing. They fixed this one thing that was messed up. It looks amazing now. I'm talking hundreds of comments. Of people. Every single person was on fire for this. And I was like,
awesome.
This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Because even if it's the coolest looking game in the world, there's always like 10 people that are like, this looks like shit. Every single person had something positive to say about it. I had the biggest smile on my face.
I bet Cog's thrilled about that.
Imagine if every gaming video, even if something sucks, if people were just found the positivity in something. Like, I'm all about critiquing stuff. You can say something's bad, but at the very least, don't shit all over something. But to see that many people positive about it, it was astounding.
I'm shocked.
If you need a refreshing look at the internet and how beautiful it can be, very rarely, just go to Cog's YouTube channel. It's called NBA Live 19, The One Gameplay and Impressions.
Yeah.
Just click on it, read the comments, put a smile on your face.
So comments aside, it's a positive place.
It is.
That's great.
Yeah.
Does the game actually look good?
It does look good, yeah. Mode? Now, to me, from an outsider's perspective, it looked exactly the same as last year, but apparently all these people that invested hours upon hours into it could tell all the changes.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's exciting for NBA fans.
It was beautiful, man. I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I wish everyone was like this on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a nice story.
Yeah, I thought everyone should hear that. It's pretty special.
Do better out there, everyone. Be positive.
This is random. Let me go into maybe this won't be our main topic. It's too negative. I won't even say it's negative. It's just kind of weird. So I don't know why, but I have been so unmotivated to make videos for our YouTube channel the last few weeks. I have no idea why, Jacob. I have zero desire to make them. And I don't know why. And it's the weirdest.
We haven't in a long time.
And I think it's because on top of work, on top of school coming up, we're doing all the Twitch streams now.
I feel like when it comes down to it, we either can put time towards YouTube videos or we can put time towards streaming. And we can't really do both at the rate that we'd like to.
Right.
I think that's what it comes down to. Again,
because of all the other stuff we have going on in our lives. I mean, I've told you my dream schedule would be to wake up, stream, crank out some Let's Plays. And let's say this is all we do. Is It's Obvious Gaming. Just wake up, morning stream, you and I crank out some Let's Plays.
Make videos during the day, come back for a night stream.
You do a night stream, I'm editing stuff. I mean, it would be beautiful.
Yeah.
It'd be beautiful. But we can't do it because of our lack of time. I think that's part of why I'm unmotivated, is because I'm like, it's such an investment of time for very little payoff at the moment.
Yeah.
In terms of everything else we're trying to do.
Garrett's not at all saying that he doesn't appreciate our community.
No. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's just, it's hard to do on top of everything else I've going on.
And we're all so busy. Like, I know all three of us are so freaking busy.
I mean, it's a miracle we even do this, the podcast alone. But I'm glad we're doing the Twitch streams. But I don't know why. It's too late now. I'm not going to put it out anymore. But my E3 vlog I shot would have been cool because I shot it all in 4K and I got a lot of good footage. But for some reason, I just couldn't bring myself to edit it for some reason.
To put it together.
And who gives a crap on E3 vlog now?
It's really
that
late.
time came and went, pal.
Oh yeah.
Like, even if one of my favorite YouTubers put out an E3 vlog tomorrow, I probably wouldn't even click on it because I couldn't care less.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch it.
So that's too late.
I mean, I don't watch a lot of YouTube videos at all anymore. I've kind of gotten out of the whole
Let's Play thing. I'm not into. Now I'll watch some Twitch highlights. You know what I love the most? I think it's the perfect bite-sized amount. I think which Kotaku got ahead of everyone in this, and other outlets are trying to, I think, copy it, but like nonchalantly, like it's basically the same thing, but they're rebranding it.
Yeah.
But Kotaku's highlight reel is brilliant because I'm getting a taste of all these current games, some old, some new, but just hilarious highlights, whether it be funny glitches or amazing moments, and 3 or 4 minute chunks. That's the perfect amount of Let's Play content for me, I think.
Yeah. See, the problem with that is for us is that I don't even have the time to sit down and scrub through my streams.
No, me neither. I tried. I know we talked about it. Let's make some highlights, but I mean, just downloading them and scrubbing through them is just so
and
hard.
Trying to remember funny moments like while you're streaming, like that's almost impossible.
I think what we could ask if people are willing to do it while we're streaming, we just mention it while we're streaming. If there's anything you think is clip worthy, just go ahead and clip it.
I usually at least get a clip every time I stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say because then we could over time say at the end because you and I stream twice daily, Monday through Thursday. That's a lot of time we're on stream. I'm thinking if we get a couple clips per stream, if there's something clip worthy, and throw them together at the end of the week, that'd be super easy.
You know where to find them, right? On Twitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, there should be a good archive of.
So that's a way to throw together some decent highlight videos, I think. Yeah. But
how's the quality of the video when you download it from Twitch?
It's not terrible. Okay. It's I think it's the same quality as whatever you're streaming at on Twitch, like 720p
it's
or
only
whatever.
720. So.
Yeah, it could be worse, but
yeah, maybe we'll do that.
I thought this would be kind of fun though. I don't know how many clips we could garner, and this isn't about Twitch anymore. It could be about Twitch, but just our community, for example, we all play video games, obviously. I thought how cool it'd be if we had our own version of highlight reel where it's just clips from our community submitting them to us every week, and we just put together almost, I wouldn't want to blatantly copy Kotaku and call it highlight reel or anything, but that idea where it's clips from our community playing whatever games they're playing, whether it be a funny moment or an awesome moment or a horrifying moment, whatever it might be, they just submit clips to us and just we edit highlight reel videos every week from the It's Obvious Gaming community. I thought that'd be kind of fun.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
So just an idea I want to throw out there. If that intrigues anyone at all, we can talk about it more in the comments or on Discord if you guys think that'd be kind of cool. I know it's kind of an effort on everyone's part because you have to have like a capture card or some sort of capture device. I know PlayStation, for example, I guess Xbox too now you can record just like Xbox record that. I don't know who uses Kinect anymore, but they'll have a recording feature. I still
have mine, dude.
And if you had you could just email us the clips via a Google Drive link or a Dropbox link, and we could just download them. And it'd be cool if we could do it weekly, like just a little 3 to 4 minute highlight reel of It's Obvious Gaming community members doing stuff in games.
Yeah, so we're going to need at least 30 minutes of good gameplay from each of our listeners. We'd really appreciate that. Thanks.
Yeah, it seems like Kotaku uses about 10 to 12 clips per week, and they all range between like 10 seconds to 30 seconds max. Mm-hmm. So little things like that. If that idea intrigues you, I thought that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
So
it would be an ambitious project to say the least.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think it would be kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're kind of just at a point where we're struggling to think of new ways to make content, or ways that we have time to do.
Yeah, I mean, there's things that we would love to do, but it's just, like we said, it's always a time constraint, unfortunately. But
so when we want to do something, then we have to make a sacrifice somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So I don't know,
and you guys, I'm sure most of you out there can relate to that. Just picking and choosing what you're going to invest your time in. And
I mean, we have other content creators in our community too, so they kind of know what we're dealing with.
Creating content, dude. Okay, let's see.
Yeah, that's just some thoughts on the backlines.
Indeed. So, Jacob, there's some fairly interesting movie news floating about. First and foremost, the Disney-Fox merger is official. It's happening.
So tell me about that.
I don't know all the details. I just know it was a meeting that happened where almost unanimously, everyone voted yes for the merger except for one guy in this meeting. So I don't know exactly how many people were there, but everyone said yes.
So this is just a merger to share.
This is Disney acquiring the bulk, if not all, of Fox's assets and IP. IP's sorry, my nose is itching. Minus their sports stuff.
Okay.
So I think the deal from the government or whoever was involved in moderating the situation said that Fox can sell all those assets to Disney, but they have 90 days to sell their sports properties to someone else. Otherwise, maybe it falls through. So hopefully they come through on that.
Interesting.
But
so are they just not going to be a thing anymore?
I don't know how this works. I'm not an expert on business and stuff like this. I don't think
we should know more about.
I don't know if the name Fox would exist anymore. I think Fox Sports will still exist, just owned by someone else.
Because they're like a big competitor to ESPN.
Right.
I guess that's why Disney didn't want, or why they didn't sell.
Because they already have ESPN. Yeah. So
interesting. Disney is literally buying everything up.
Yeah, they're going to own the universe.
They're going to need to be stopped.
They're going to be the empire. They basically are the empire.
They're getting too big.
Yeah.
I miss little Disney when they were just making their little animated movies.
Yeah, that's great.
Now they have everything. They have Star Wars. They got Marvel. They do everything. I only said two things.
I will say predominantly they're killing it with everything. Now Star Wars is a little iffy at the moment, and that's not really Disney's fault. That's part of the producer's fault. And
it's their
I'm not going to throw all the blame on Kathleen Kennedy, but just the people they're hiring.
It's her fault.
And she's a big part of it. She's the final call on all of it. But a lot of the decisions being made at Lucasfilm at the moment have been pretty lackluster, to say the least. I'm not crapping on anyone else's opinion about the current state of Star Wars. I don't blame anyone if they loved Last Jedi and everything. But you know how I feel about it. And a lot of other people feel the same.
Yeah, I feel the same.
But speaking of which we'll talk about Fox a little longer, but it transitions nicely into the next story. But I'm most excited for the potential of X-Men and Fantastic Four specifically existing within the Marvel Universe. That gives them so much more room to play going forward. Because you think about it, post Thanos and Infinity War, especially next summer, I wouldn't say they're starting new, but it's in a way a soft reboot, as starting a new journey or new arc, so to speak.
I don't know if
think about it in terms of DBZ. What if every decade there's a massive arc in Marvel films? I don't know how much longer these superhero films are going to last to the popularity they're lasting. Yeah. But imagine every decade or so is a new arc. Like, the Thanos arc, like the Frieza arc and the Cell arc and the Boo arc. Like, what if there's these arcs throughout time from Marvel? Yeah. And the next arc has to do with X-Men or something.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be so cool.
You mean just X-Men exclusively?
Not like X-Men, but they're a big part of it. Like, they're involved, and then Fantastic Four and stuff. You can just make it bigger and bigger and bigger.
The problem is, like, Thanos is like the biggest villain. Like, he's the guy.
I know he's one. I know. I think Galactus is another. I don't pretend to be an expert on comic books. I think I've heard the name Galactus tossed around.
Okay.
I know there's some more villains out there that could be pretty cool. But I think the potential there is awesome. And I think in the hands of Kevin Feige, I don't know how much longer he's going to stick around. Obviously, you want to ride that wave to its peak and then bail before it starts going downhill. Yeah. Not that everything can go downhill, but I think there comes a point in every big producer's career where they got to choose whether or not they continue or step away. And hopefully he leaves when he's on top. And then whoever has to deal with it after that. Hopefully they can continue the trend, but if it goes under, at least he won't be a part of it.
You don't think he leaves after the next Avengers?
I don't know. He might. I think he wants to. I get the feeling he wants to stick around for as long as possible.
Maybe he tries to help establish the next. Yeah.
I would say at the very least, if he's not in direct control of the path they take, I hope that he's at least a consultant of some sort. Like, he's still there, but he's not the ringleader. Like, I hope he's still consulted for big decisions and stuff. Yeah. Like, here are my 2 cents, take it or leave it type situation.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Have you seen Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I have.
How was it?
It was all right.
Okay.
Not near my favorite Marvel movie. I even think the first one was better, but I didn't dislike Ant-Man and the Wasp at all. I just think it was, in a good way, it felt much smaller than, of course, Infinity War and stuff. A smaller budget as well.
This explains why you wasn't there.
Yeah, the story wasn't over the top important. It wasn't really connected to Infinity War at all. But
I heard the ending was good.
Like the post-credit scene, awesome. It was exactly what I hoped it would be.
Okay,
excellent post-credit scene.
I need to see it.
Yeah, it's great. So, all the performances were awesome. Action was pretty solid. It wasn't a very focused story either. I think there was one too many characters in the movie, but overall, it was a fine Marvel movie. It's like a B+ Marvel movie.
You know what I'm disappointed with the new Avengers that came out?
What's that?
Like, I really liked, I think she was called the Valkyrie from Thor. Mm-hmm. I'm disappointed she wasn't really in it. Like, apparently she died at the beginning or something.
I don't know if that's confirmed or not.
Yeah, it's like, I hope she's not dead.
You assume everyone died in that ship.
It's like, where did she go, though?
You have no idea. It is funny how she was a big player in
Thor.
Same with, like, Korg and stuff. At the end of Thor, and they're just gone in Infinity War.
So I thought she was a good character.
No, I like how the movie picks up immediately after Thor, but them missing was kind of strange.
Because, like, they were on the ship when they left, right? And Thor. Like,
they were standing there.
Everyone was there.
Mm-hmm. I guess they're dead.
I mean, we kind of just spoiled some movies. Dang it.
Well, I mean, I feel like the whole world's seen Infinity War by now.
I'm really sorry if you guys haven't seen those movies.
It's been a while. It's been since May, right?
Yeah, it's still not very long.
Yeah, I guess when you think about it that way. No. Sorry.
Apologies.
Forgive us. Please stick around. Let's transition into...
I didn't even think about that.
Speaking of Disney, Star Wars Episode 9 news was released. I wasn't excited, but...
Oh, sorry. What'd you say? I was zoning out.
Star Wars Episode 9 news has been released. Okay. They've begun filming, I think, as of today or yesterday.
Okay.
Or September 1st, maybe. One of those days. I can't remember. I think it was very soon. Maybe they're already filming. Anyway, the news released was that they will be using unused footage from The Force Awakens to bring Leia to life. And I don't mean that to sound as grim as it sounds. Yeah, Carrie Fisher to life. And Episode 9, so she will have a presence. I was hoping they'd do
Which we've
something like
known.
that because I think it'd be really off-putting if they recast her or did a visual effect of some sort like Tarkin.
Yeah.
Which I'm not one of the haters of those visual effects in Rogue One. I thought they were really solid.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's cool that they're going to have Leia in there from unused footage. Now, I imagine it'll be minimal. I can't imagine her being in a majority of the movie.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how they exactly tackle that. Because I know they can do it well.
And movies, and you can get away with quite a bit in movies these days. I think they'll make it pretty convincing.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be kind of weird knowing that she's no longer of this earth, but she's on
I'm
screen.
I'm going to be looking for how how they
looking for
it.
the imperfections and stuff. So now, I mean, innately you'll be having that in the back of your mind, I'm sure. But cool that they're doing that. At least they're not recasting. Another news: Mark Hamill will be returning. There's no surprise there. I think we all figured he'd be back in like a Force Ghost form or something, which is such a shame. I still wish he was alive. I mean, I'm not one of the guys that cries about the fact that he died, but I think it'd be cooler if he was still alive.
Another spoiler for Star Wars.
Yeah, sorry guys, we're throwing spoilers out left and right. Yeah. But that was the news, and sadly, I just don't care. There was a time, like when they started filming Last Jedi, where I was so stoked to know they're filming the next Star Wars film right now. It's being produced.
I was so excited for the next Star Wars.
That was just like the coolest feeling back in the day, and now I just don't care. It's like any other movie to me. Like I don't care where the story's going at all. So, because we all had this hype and these predictions, and like
my interest for Star Wars has definitely taken a beating.
What could happen for Episode 8? How they can continue Force Awakens? Blah 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 blah. And just that was all in the mind. Now I don't care. What is JJ going to do to correct it? I don't know. Now, in some people's minds, he won't be correcting anything. He'll just be continuing what Rian Johnson started. But I don't know what JJ is going to do. I think inevitably, so I don't sound like a total hypocrite when the trailer comes out, I will be stoked because the trailer is going to look awesome. JJ knows how to make a movie look very exciting. And I think from a creative standpoint, I will inevitably enjoy Episode 9 more than 8 just because I think JJ knows where they arguably made mistakes and where they can improve and how they can make this one more enticing to the masses and not have such a divide. Yeah. So I think the movie's going to look awesome. But narratively, what will they do to really get me interested? Because it's all about the story at the end of the day. I mean, of course, you have the awesome visuals, you have the lightsabers, but it's all about the characters and narrative, and I just don't care. With the exception of Kylo Ren, I'm still intrigued by Ben Solo's journey. I think he was the best part of Episode 8. Yeah. So I'm interested in what he has going on, but other than that, man, I don't care about any of the characters. Yeah. Rose is back too, by the way.
Great.
She's the main character now.
Great.
Yeah. I felt bad she got all that hate on the internet. She didn't deserve that, but I definitely didn't like her character regardless.
I want to see more places in the Star Wars universe.
We've seen a lot of places.
We have. I don't know. I want to see something that's exciting. Just that one planet we went to where they were at the casinos and everything.
I hated that.
That was awful.
That was a terrible planet. It's the
worst
planet of all time.
Be there.
Yeah.
It was a cool place. I thought it was interesting.
Sure.
But it didn't warrant its place in the movie.
Worst part of the movie by far.
And Rose was there.
She was there.
But yeah, I'm with you. I'm not too keen on the new Star Wars until I actually see it, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, I've said this a million times, hopefully they make it exciting again. So,
I guess what we're going to get is just Rey and Ben Solo just
duking it out or making out. Maybe a bit of both.
What if that's how it ended? Like they
That'd be so effed up to me if you think about it, because she blatantly saw him kill his own father. Dark side or not, man, that's effed up.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm kind of attracted to you now.
There's no way.
What the hell? It's cool to watch him team up and fight those guys in spite of all the terrible choreography that was. When you further analyze it, I've seen people analyze that scene. I'm like, you just made it so much less cool, and it annoys me now.
Yeah. But he takes off his mask. He's like, I'm your father.
I'm actually your father.
Oh my God.
So I still think I wouldn't put it past JJ to say that when Ben Solo's like, your parents are nobodies. I wouldn't be surprised if Rey's parents were somebodies. Like her parents may be nobodies, but maybe her parents, her parents' were someone cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know it's not all about the parents. I'm not that hung up about it, but
it's so dumb that they didn't do something with that.
It's too much build up, no payoff whatsoever.
See, JJ built that up, but it never led to anything.
He would have paid it off too. If he directed the sequel, there would have been a payoff.
I wonder if it was always the plan not to really have her as parents or have her with important parents.
I don't think they had a set in stone plan to begin with, but I still think he would have found a way to make it more satisfying.
Yeah,
for sure. That wasn't even what I was really leaning on the most of in episode 8 anyway. We've had this discussion a million times.
Yeah, we talked about this.
If you guys want to hear a spoiler review, it's out there on our YouTube channel.
But seriously, what's his face? The guy who died. She's there. I'm not going to say anything else. Let's move on. I almost said a spoiler.
Everyone knows he's dead.
Let's just move on.
Okay. We're talking about Luke Skywalker again. Matt Reeves as Batman from DC is rumored to be based on Year One, which is bizarre to me because it's so similar to Batman Begins. Now everyone's saying this. I'm not the first to say this, but that's true. I mean, it's Year One is basically Batman Begins. So I find that interesting. I hope it's not an origin story. Now I'm cool with it being Batman in his first year, sure, because they're doing the worlds of DC now. I don't think they're all interconnected like they used to be.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm just hoping for a really awesome Batman movie. But
we're due for one.
Oh yeah, certainly. But I don't know why they would go that direction. Now I don't distrust Matt Reeves. I loved was it Rise of the Planet of the Apes? Yeah, that was the sequel, and then War was the third one. Now War didn't impress me too much. Visually gorgeous, cool action moments, but I think Rise is the much better Apes movie. But he's a killer director, especially when it comes to character and development of characters too. So I think he could do a lot with Batman. And he's already claimed in the past that it's going to be very detective based, which I've always wanted to see a Batman that isn't all about the action pack moments, but really about the detective side of Batman. Because I think that's a really interesting part of his character as well as his intellect. That's why he's one of the best superheroes. And not only does he have this kick-ass arsenal and amazing gear, and he looks cool, but he's very intelligent as well.
I need to go off on a quick tangent. You mentioned Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
What was the first one called?
It was just called, I think, it was Rise of the Planet of the Apes, then Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. That's what it was. Dawn was the sequel, and then War.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Wasn't James Franco in that movie?
Yeah, it was.
Why did they not continue him?
I think this is what I like about the Apes movies. It was never really about the humans. It was about Caesar, the ape. It was about his journey.
I loved that relationship between Caesar and James Franco.
See, that's what I like though. What I think really works going from Rise to Dawn is Caesar's journey and his characterization of losing James Franco and having to make new friends. And that's always been a part of his characters, is the man who essentially raised him and then losing him because of the apes, essentially.
I guess I don't know. I've always liked that first movie a whole lot. And I really liked the second one too. I didn't see the third one. So
the third one was okay. People were claiming it was the best one. I didn't agree at all.
It was the one where it was the war, right?
It was, there was a couple, there was like a very brief couple scenes where it's like, oh, this is warlike. The opening scene and the ending set piece were warlike, but the rest really wasn't. It took a lot of the movie took place in a prison camp, which kind of got old after a while. And I feel like Woody Harrelson was pretty underutilized as well.
Yeah, I remember him being in the trailers.
Yeah, but anyway, Matt Reeves. I hope he kills it with Batman. Year One's the rumor. Sure, I've heard Penguin's going to be in it. I'm down to see Penguin again.
I haven't seen Penguin.
As long as it's not like the young, hip Penguin from the Gotham show, because I'm not into that at all, man. I'm just not into it.
The long hair.
Yeah, give me gross Danny DeVito type Penguin. I don't want Danny DeVito again reprises his role as the Joker. Or not the Joker, the Penguin. But
Danny DeVito.
I like the stumpy round.
Yeah. That's Penguin.
Like I'm the Penguin.
He's got to look like a penguin.
He runs like the club or something in Gotham. So I hope we get a very visually striking Gotham too, because I really like the tease of Gotham and Zack's Justice League, but I want it to be grimy and I don't want it to look like. Batman, as much as I love Nolan's trilogy, the majority of those movies just look like Chicago, which is fine. It's a grounded version of Gotham, but I really wanted to have that like Arkham look to it.
Yeah,
more visually appealing. So, Slender Man 2, or Slender Man's trailer number 2. Have you seen this trailer?
No,
I gotta say, man, I don't think it looks like a good movie, but I think visually it looks pretty spooky.
You think it'll be scary?
Hopefully. It's been a while since I've seen a movie where I was genuinely scared. There have been movies where it's gotten my heart racing, like A Quiet Place, for example. One of the best horror/thriller movies I've seen in the last 5 years or so. I think my top 3 at the last few years, like I've said, are Get Out, Quiet Place, Don't Breathe, The Witch. That's another one we saw recently we were just talking about.
I don't know.
Can't remember.
I
think the Evil Dead remake was really awesome too.
I saw that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Every seldom, I'll see a scary movie, and that's usually with you.
I kind of want to see Slender Man. I've never really been into Slender Man. I know we played Slender Man, or just Slender, or whatever it's called.
I hate those games.
We played it very briefly at Evans a couple times, I think. So
I do not like playing scary games.
I think the coolest shots from the trailer are the ones where he almost blends in with the branches of trees, where he's out of focus, but you know it's him in the distance, where someone's walking. You just see him. And he looks like he's part of a tree, but you know it's him. It's pretty creepy. And his fingers, too. You know how I feel about slender things in general, but long fingers and stuff.
Like you.
And a couple times when you see his fingers and stuff, it's really creepy looking.
I've never seen his fingers.
I'm not really into the whole psychological aspect of it, too. I just think he's scarier as like an entity that will physically harm you. Yeah. But, again, I don't know much about him, so.
Okay.
But I think it looks pretty creepy. Maybe I'll see it, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll matinee it one day if I feel like seeing a spooky movie. Getting towards Halloween. It's exciting.
Is it coming out around Halloween?
I think it comes out August. I think next month.
So no.
Yeah. Something else comes out next month. I'm pretty excited for. I can't remember what it is.
Not Destiny. World of Warcraft. Woo!
Totally.
Dude, I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
I tell every time I stream, like, all I can think about is WoW, and it's true.
All you can think about is WoW?
Yeah.
Wow. Jacob, let's jump into community questions.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to be doing questions.
You and me both. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your continued support of this podcast week in and week out, not only with your comments about anything we discussed or just what's going on in your lives, and video games specifically, but also taking time out of your days to send us community questions that fuel the latter half of this show and Ask IOG, which I should probably just quit bringing up because you and I still haven't had a chance to test it.
It'll be back when it's back.
Yeah. That show does exist, and we're excited for its return whenever that happens. But specifically this podcast, we always have interesting conversations towards the end because of your support, and we can't thank you enough for that. So please keep them coming. Don't ever hesitate to send us anything that's even if it's very minor, like something really small that we can answer in 10 seconds. Those are always fun. So please keep sending them our way, and we will keep answering them.
This question before I forget it.
You're going to pull it up? I have it as well on my laptop if I need to pull it up.
Well, yeah, let's pull it up.
But anyway, if you want to have your questions read on this show publicly, you can reach us in one of three places. You can email us at ItsObviousGaming@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at obvious_gaming, or submit your questions in the Ask IOG section of our Discord channel. Now, if you want your questions read publicly, always include the hashtag AskIOG. That is ASKIOG, or as we like to say, Ask EOG. EOG. Not to cough really badly. So we know you want your questions read publicly. If you just want to chat, by all means message us, and we'd be happy to talk anytime. I respond to everything. I can't vouch for Jacob and Preston here. But,
I do, yeah.
Yeah, me and Jacob will respond to you at the very least. You can count on it.
And if you really want me to respond, just send me a direct message.
Yeah, that's cool too. So anyway, without further ado, Jacob, let's jump in. I got to pull up some questions because I didn't have time to prepare them.
Okay.
So if you want to tell me about how excited you are to spend time with family this evening.
Oh, I'm just so
I'm going to pull up our
I'm
questions here.
Thrilled to see my family again. I'm thrilled to have a good meal, I hope. I hope someone's cooking for our family. I'm not thrilled about going back to work this week. I don't want to do that. I hate work.
That's bogus.
What kind of questions you got?
Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Should we start? I'm going to pull most of them off Discord because some of these are reserved for Ask IOG.
Okay.
But Jake the Snake is the first question.
Okay.
Jake, we owed you, man. I apologize for leaving you hanging the past couple of weeks. It was not intentional, I promise. I think originally I wanted to save this for Ask IOG, but I think we're just going to go ahead.
Okay, let's do it.
Anyway, Jake the Snake writes in and says, hello from the sunny coasts of California.
Ooh.
I've got a question about the Switch. I remember before the release of the Switch, it was rumored to be a console more like the PS4 and Xbox One. Now that the Switch has been out for some time and we have experienced it in all its glory, would you guys rather it be more like a PlayStation and Xbox, or would you keep it how it is? P.S. I hope you guys are still looking into releasing some merch along the way. Would love to rock the It's Obvious name. Thanks, guys, and keep up the glorious work. Jake, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, man. Good question.
I am very satisfied with the Switch. I have not had any complaints because I can run Zelda beautifully, and that game's awesome. I can run Mario Odyssey. I can run Mario Kart. I can run Mega Man. Very old, but I can play that on the go. I love the Switch exactly how it is.
I'm kind of in agreement. Sometimes I wish that it was a little more powerful so it could run other games. But at the same time, like I play most of my stuff on PC now. So anytime that I'm playing the Switch, it's for a game that's only coming out on that. And it's usually a Nintendo game, right? And their games look fantastic on the Switch. Yeah. So I don't really feel myself really wanting it to be more powerful like the PS4 or Xbox One.
Now, miraculously, the Switch can run Bethesda-published games, specifically Skyrim and Wolfenstein, quite well. I know those reviewed pretty well. So that's also impressive. Now, I know there's bigger games that, like The Witcher, for example, would probably make the Switch explode.
Oh, yeah. It would,
I mean, my PS4 barely ran The Witcher. So
I know there's people out there that just want to have one console and they'd like it to be like a Nintendo, but they just can't if they want to play all these AAA games.
I think that's why I like the Switch the way it is, because it's so different in comparison to PS4 and Xbox
I don't look
One.
at it the same way as I do other brands, I guess, because it's like a Nintendo machine, right?
Yeah, and just like, I can't say so much Xbox at the moment, but like PlayStation, Nintendo has a solid lineup of exclusives, and they're only going to continue to grow.
It just proves that exclusives sell units.
Exactly.
If you have good games that only come out on your console, you're going to sell.
See the Star Wars thing I did on our Instagram?
Yes.
With those images?
Yes. That was funny.
I thought that was hilarious. I was mad at myself, though, because originally I was going to put that on Twitter because I thought it would do better on Twitter, but I didn't like the way it looked when I posted it. And I was like, oh, that looks stupid. I'm just going to delete it. So I guess I had a bad Wi-Fi connection because I deleted it, and it told me I deleted it. So then I went through it on Instagram. It was fine. But I come back to Twitter like 8 hours later, and it's still there. And it just looks like random pictures on our Twitter feed. I'm like, I wouldn't be surprised if 20 people unfollowed us because it looks like spam.
Yeah. No, it still looked okay as a thread.
I guess.
Because it showed the last one.
Yeah.
That was the joke.
But I thought that was consecutive order too. I didn't just randomly pull those from like various spots. I mean, it was consecutive order, those 3 pictures, and then just Xbox has no games.
Yeah.
So funny. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let me pull up the others. Jake, okay. The merch thing. We've talked about that as well.
We've talked about it many times on the podcast.
Yeah, I think the first shirt we would ever do, and we have a bunch of cool ideas, but the first shirt we'd probably do would be a black t-shirt with a pocket on it, and just like, or maybe not even a pocket, just like where a pocket would typically be on the left breast with the white IOG logo on it. Mm-hmm. That simple. Yep. Another idea we had was similar, but a black hoodie with the big white IOG on the hoodie. That'd be kind of cool. I think something would be hilarious. It would be an inside joke for a community that no one would get except for anyone who knew what it was. But the the hashtag not fanboy shirt wouldn't say that. Now the description on, say, a website wherever we were selling the shirt would be just called Ask IOG, or not Ask IOG, hashtag not fanboys. But I would want just a PlayStation blue shirt with just a white IOG logo on it, and that's just called the hashtag not fanboys. Mm-hmm. And just people would get the joke if they knew what it is, and they would think it's funny, but most people, they wouldn't get it, so it'd be a nice inside joke for us.
Yeah.
So, but we have a bunch of ideas. I think we had some cool hat ideas as well. I thought Braves colors for an IOG hat would be kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that pattern on a hat.
Yeah.
It's like the navy blue and red bill.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, like a solid black one with a white logo on it and stuff. But
sure, yeah.
Bunch of ideas we have. That's a discussion we could bring up again on Discord, depending on how many people are interested in that. We could do like a small bulk, let's say like 100 t-shirts, and see how they do. Mm-hmm. We'll do all extra smalls because we know we all want to wear belly shirts here.
Yep.
So, yeah. Anyone interested in wearing an IOG shirt, I'd be quite honored to hear it, honestly. But if anyone's interested, let us know. Maybe we'll do it around Christmas time or something.
Yes.
Let me pull up Discord here. Discord.
You really don't have questions ready.
I don't.
I thought you had some
I had no
here.
time whatsoever. Okay, let's see.
I'm tired.
Did we do the squad up? Yeah, we talked about squad up last week. So this one's from Oakley Fire 23.
Okay.
Oakley says, I don't know how you guys feel about Star Wars The Clone Wars, but did you see that Season 7 has been announced? I'm hyped. What are your guys' thoughts on the show and the new season in general? There's a trailer on Star Wars fan page and the Star Wars YouTube.
Glad you brought this up because I forgot completely. And
I'm well aware.
I'm super excited.
Oh, me too. I have seen the first 3 seasons of Clone Wars. I need to watch the rest.
You gotta catch up. It's good.
Yeah. I've heard it's outstanding. I've seen many clips from the latter seasons. I just haven't watched all of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of good moments.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to watch that Rebels show too.
I watched the first 2 seasons of that as well. I fell off. Wasn't as good as Clone Wars, I don't think. It had some cool moments too, but
yeah, I feel like the Darth Vader moments looked pretty cool, but I never got into it.
Yeah, I like the drama between Ahsoka and Darth Vader and that stuff. It was cool.
The reunion.
Yeah, but I'm excited too. I don't know if I'll get through what I haven't seen of Clone Wars prior to Season 7.
I recommend it. You should.
I'm definitely excited. I hope it ties directly into Revenge of the Sith. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I think it might still be on Netflix. I'm not really sure. Maybe not.
I hope it is for my sake. That'd be convenient.
Yeah, I think that's where I watched it.
It might
It's been
still
so
be
long
there.
at this
Yeah.
point.
Mm-hmm. So, excited though, for sure. I'll if I don't watch it, obviously when it first comes out, I'll watch it eventually.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan of the show.
I like the crowd reaction to that at Comic-Con as well. Those are always fun. So, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
It's a good trailer too.
See how this one is. I want to make sure they're relatively in the realm of video games.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, this is a good one. This is the one you like, Jacob. I like this too. Caleb writes in and says, "Hey guys, do you ever find yourself enjoying a particular game, truly loving your time with it, but then end up watching streams or YouTube videos of it more than you play? Or even stop playing altogether and just watching? This is something that has happened to me many times for me. First with League of Legends, then to Counter-Strike, Rocket League, and so on. Find with most games my desires to play will end before my interest in a game ever does."
I can relate to this very much so. Not so much anymore, mostly because we stream so much ourselves. So I don't have a whole lot of time to watch streams like I used to, like last fall, for example. But here's a good example. I used to watch a guy called Tim the Tatman. He used to play a lot of Overwatch, and like I don't play nearly as much Overwatch as I used to. But there was him, and then a guy named Siegel. He's a competitive, or not a competitive. He's a professional Overwatch player for the Dallas Fuel. But he's known as like the biggest Overwatch streamer when he streams, which during the season isn't very much. But anyways, I would often just find myself watching them because, quite frankly, they play like they. Not only are they much better than me, and it kind of not only am I learning how to like play the game better just from watching someone, but the games that they play always seem better than the games that I would play in Overwatch. So it kind of just turned me off to playing the game myself, if that makes sense. And I just often found myself doing that instead of playing the game myself. And at the very least, I always have like a stream open while I'm playing a game because I want to keep tuning in. So I
find that very interesting.
Yeah. It's like sometimes I just find myself, it's like I'm watching a show instead of playing a game.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of doing, it's one and the same, right? Kind of.
Streaming is really fascinating. How that's taken a hold of pretty much everything else. I mean,
it's taken over.
Everyone's streaming now.
I don't watch TV anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's mostly because my cable box is fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I haven't gone out of my way to fix it because I'm getting my entertainment on Twitch.
Right.
And seldomly on YouTube.
Yeah,
Can you relate to this?
No, I don't watch Twitch streams hardly ever. I think, I'm not even exaggerating here, I think I've maybe watched a total of 20 minutes of a stream. Out of all the streams I've ever tuned in briefly, it's probably a total of 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not because I don't enjoy it. I just, again, similar to you, I don't have as much time to do that. Last night I tuned into a stream because I just had nothing else to do, which is fine. But even Let's Plays back in the day, I've never been that into watching them, which is funny because we've produced hundreds of Let's Plays.
Yeah.
And at this point, you and I have been streaming twice daily for a while now, a few weeks.
A little over a month.
So I think because of that reason, I don't watch as many stuff or as much stuff, but I can see why that's appealing. Absolutely. I could see if I ever reached a point in my life where I just don't have as much time to play games anymore, which would be a cold day in hell, Jacob. I've made it my ambition to play games somehow, some way for the rest of my life. But if that were ever the case, I would undoubtedly tune into more Twitch stream stuff. Like I said, I really enjoy watching highlight reel when I'm eating, especially like little snacks and stuff, because it's 3 or 4 minutes of just really awesome content. So not so much stepping away from games to watch them more often at the moment, but I could totally see why you would enjoy doing that. And I could see myself doing that if I were ever to fall out of playing games frequently.
Something, I mean, I'm sure everyone does this, but depending whatever, like he was saying, whatever game I'm really into, like I stopped watching Tim the Tatman because he started playing a bunch of Fortnite. Like I don't really care that much about watching people play rounds of Fortnite. Like it's not a game that I've really been super into. Like it's fun. I love playing it sometimes, but it's not really like when I watch streams, I'm kind of looking for ways that I can play better myself. In a way, I kind of use it as a learning tool, not only as entertainment, but that too. And if they're streaming something I don't want to watch, then I kind of just move on to something or a different creator. Like right now, for example, I'm watching a lot of WoW streamers because that's what I'm into right now.
Wow. It's an old joke. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's a good joke. It's the best joke.
I'd love to be a hunt streamer.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem
I feel
to
like
be
there's
too
a
much
market
interest.
for that, yeah. It's not huge. I mean, I don't know how it performs
The
on
most
Mixer.
I've seen on a hunt stream is about 100 viewers.
Mm-hmm.
That's typically when someone else is hosting a hunt streamer.
Yeah.
So I would
streaming it.
I would play that exclusively all the time if
Do
I
it.
could. I just don't want to bore our community because I want to have a little variety. I mean, at the end of the day,
you
we
want to
said
bore
this.
yourself?
My only purpose in stream, two goals. One is to hang out with everyone because that's the most fun, but also because I have an intention of growing every time we stream. I don't want to just stream and not gain anything out of it because we just don't have time for that. It's like if we want to do it full time, we have to be going after gaining a bigger audience. But at the end of the day, if there's people to hang out with from our community and you guys just want to talk, it's cool with me. Especially if you're cool with me playing some Hunt Showdown, which I'd like to return to at least a little bit this week. It's because I get so mad at myself. I should be recording all my gameplay because on stream, there's some decent moments. I'm like, oh, that was pretty cool. Off stream, man, I swear some of the coolest stuff happens in that game.
Maybe turn on the software tonight and just
probably should
capture something.
Yeah, maybe I will. Like, it's just some of the coolest moments, man. And I'm just like, this is the kind of stuff I describe to people and I try to sell them on it. And then on stream, I can't really bring that to life because every match is very different. I mean, you can expect some of the same moments, but as far as firefights and encounters are concerned, they're always different.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Caleb, I really liked this question. So
yeah, it's a great one.
Thank you.
Seriously. Next one comes from Bear Commando. It's a little lengthy, but I think it could garner a pretty decent discussion here.
Okay.
Bear Commando asks, hey guys, just read the rumors that Microsoft is developing a streaming console, which I presume would have no gaming hardware, but instead just send inputs to a game running on a dedicated server.
We forgot to talk about this.
Then receive the streamed image back milliseconds later. I personally find this really intriguing because it would allow for two things. The console should be cheaper to buy because you aren't buying any pricey gaming hardware in your console, and you don't have to worry about internal storage. Microsoft could theoretically have top-notch PC graphics. They host whatever hardware they want in their end. However, would they be shooting themselves in the foot with this concept? There would be no reason for people to ever go out and buy another Microsoft console because of all future upgrades would happen on the host side. The consumer would just use their same streaming box to view each evolution of the next-gen content. Would this lead Microsoft to aim for profits through subscription services rather than hardware sales? Thanks for your thoughts and keep up the podcast. Yeah, it's a good one. What do you think, Jacob?
I mean, this is just speculation, right? It's just rumors people have heard. I think it's very intriguing. It kind of opens up Xbox to a broader audience, I think, in terms of, because I think streaming definitely is the future. We're going to be moving away from like physical things and just in general. Like that's no secret to anyone, I think. And just the ability to have I'm assuming it's going to be a smaller box and it's going to be more compact and there's going to be a whole lot less to it. You don't need to put discs in it. All you literally do is just connect it, get an internet connection, you play everything. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to be compelling to a lot of people, especially like parents. They're not going to have to go to the store and
pick up games and stuff.
Buy toys for their kids,
Yeah, even though I feel like that's so exciting.
Yeah.
I think all kids,
as a kid, yeah.
I think maybe kids will be different in generations
maybe
ahead.
Kids now they're satisfied with
like,
games.
I woke up on Christmas morning, had like 8 download codes for 8 new games. Whereas a kid, when I opened new games, it got me so excited. It's just physically holding it in your hands. Yeah. Now I've moved past that. I don't need that anymore. I'm fine with being digital only with games. But
I think in those regards, it's kind of evolving.
Yeah, I can't imagine any kid being stoked about just codes on Christmas morning. Like my mom gave me 10 codes.
Well, they're stoked about the experience, right? Or that they're going to have.
Yeah, or not even codes, just like a gift card that enables you to download or stream a bunch of new games.
I get it though. Yeah,
console.
It's like, I just got this code. Mm-hmm. I don't actually own it. I just have the license.
If I ever have kids, which I don't know if I am or not, but if I were to have children, I would intentionally raise them basically as if they were in the 90s still. Yeah. They would have action figures. They would have very minimal time with games and stuff. Now, my parents weren't overly strict with games. I just was, I don't know, blessed is the right word, but I was lucky enough to have Fortunate, that's the word I'm looking for. Fortunate enough to have a very awesome neighborhood full of kids that wanted to play outside and play sports. So I would naturally just want to go outside and play with my friends, but I'd also, of course, want to play video games. My parents were never like, you can only have 30 minutes on your console a day. I just, on my own, would want to go out and play with my friends.
Yeah, kind of like what I do now. I go through phases, but every summer we were outside every day.
Yeah, me too. I was outside predominantly as a kid.
The tips of my hair used to turn gold because I was out in the sun so much.
Yeah.
Like I used to have really long hair growing up and I always had gold hair.
Yeah, golden like a Super Saiyan.
Yeah, dude.
You have the body of a Super Saiyan now.
Oh, thank you.
So you've come full circle. You had the hair once, and now you have the body.
Yeah, it's like I'm going through phases.
You should dunk your hair in the sunlight a bit more, and you'd truly be a Super Saiyan. You have the eye color as well.
Oh, Super Saiyan? Mm-hmm. They have blue?
Now, you would have to dye your eyebrows golden. If you're up for that, then you'll basically be Goku.
That's where I draw the line.
I think you have the cheeky, down-to-earth personality of Goku.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. I could be...
I think you could save the universe, Jacob.
That's a lot of pressure to put on me. I don't know if I can handle it.
I believe in you. If you were to ask for the energy from around the world to form a spirit bomb, my hands would be sky high.
I've never tried it. Maybe I should do that on stream.
Should. Give me your energy, chat.
There's another streamer I watch that does like a bunch of DBZ references. Yeah. He's not nearly like, he's not huge, he's kind of smaller, but he's always been entertaining. Like he works out on stream too. And he like whenever
you play games and work out?
Yeah. He has
simultaneously or just different streams?
Separate. Like he has workout streams, then he plays games. Then
Interesting.
What he's doing now is he has a workout stream in the morning. He plays games during the day. Then he has a night workout stream. Works out twice in a day, which isn't uncommon.
You ever done that before?
Yeah, I did it a short period. I don't really like it because I don't have.
Now, would you work out the same muscles or different muscles?
Depending what you want to do. Yeah.
So I did legs this morning. I did shoulders and back this evening.
Yeah, depending what your goals are.
Wow, I can't imagine ever doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I did it. I mean, it takes a lot of your time, depending how hard you go, right? Like, because right now I'm spending probably close to an hour and a half, 2 hours in the gym daily, or Monday through Friday. Yeah. Like, imagine doing that twice a day.
That's wild.
It's like, I mean, that could be all your free time during a night.
You could.
So that's why I don't do it. I need time to play my games and stream.
So, in regards to Bear's question about the Xbox streaming console,
yes,
he asked specifically if we think this would undermine Microsoft's console sales. I think it absolutely would, depending on, of course, the interest in this piece of hardware.
I mean, it is a console.
It would have to be a rock solid system to where you can stream games and download them just seamlessly without any issue or massive latency or anything, because otherwise I don't know who would be attracted to something like this. But I think in the future it could definitely alter the console sales for sure. But at the moment I don't know how many people would be truly interested in something like that.
I don't think it's for us, right? It's for people that aren't necessarily, they value convenience, I think, over anything else.
Yeah,
maybe. It definitely, it doesn't sound appealing to me. Like I would rather have a console if I had to pick.
I mean, Microsoft already is kind of spread out in terms of having games available on Windows 10 and Xbox, and now with the Xbox One X and the One S, and there are multiple consoles there. And I know PlayStation has the Pro and everything, but I feel like Xbox is a little more spread out in terms of why consoles may not be selling as well and stuff. Plus, they're obviously lacking exclusives big time. But
now, if they took this little streaming box and made it as powerful as like the Xbox One X or something, now we're talking. Like that would get me interested. But it seems like this thing doesn't have nearly as much, or it's just not as powerful.
Yeah,
it's from the rumors that I've heard. So
interesting story, though. I'm not sure what my overall thoughts on that are yet, but it's definitely something to keep in mind.
Yeah, the new console rumors they're starting now. So,
yeah,
I'm sure throughout the rest of this year and into next year, we're going to hear a lot of juicy stuff.
That's the thing about the next generation of consoles. I don't think anything will surprise me unless it's something like that.
Yeah,
unless they say our console exclusively streams games, or you can only download games. And I think the public reaction would probably be pretty negative to that. But that's the only thing I feel like going forward would really surprise me. Like if they come out with a PS4, they're like, oh, it's native 4K and blah, 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 blah. And
it's funny because at this point, like, because it seems like every console generation, there was like a big step, right? But this, like the one we're in now.
So many slight iterations.
Yeah, like this, we made a few improvements. So like now we do 1080p flawlessly like, all the time. I mean, the Xbox didn't launch like that, but that's another story. And then like this next generation, like what are they going to do to up the bar? Are we going to have 4K all the time? Like,
I guess. I mean,
I guess that's the next step.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. Right? But yeah, it's kind of whatever at this point.
It's like you think about 64 to GameCube. I mean, that wasn't huge, but I mean, it was big in some ways. The like 64 was when Nintendo started 3D, and then GameCube kind of shaped it up to be much more pretty. So then obviously all those consoles are following.
I pulled my original GameCube box, not like the cube itself, but the box it came in from my childhood out of my closet when I cleaned it out earlier this week.
I saw you posting pictures in Discord.
I took a picture of it, but I threw it away. I didn't need it anymore, but the original box still had it.
Nice.
So never forget opening that for the first time.
Those memories.
It was great. Yeah, loved that machine.
I never owned one. I played Luigi's Mansion at a friend's house, though. That was fun. That's a game I'd like to play again on the Switch.
I should have read Rhino Hay's question. I'm just going to throw it out there because it's kind of in the vein of what we're discussing at the moment. Okay. Rhino Hay says, "What up, IOG fam? What up, fam?" So apparently new consoles are coming out within the next couple of years. Do you think that they will have different tiers in consoles, such as a slim version or a cheaper, a dumbed down version? I know that they release upgraded consoles a few years after the initial launch, but do you think they will ever do it right off the bat? Thanks, and see you on the Twitch.
I think there's a good possibility, especially with these rumors of the streaming version of the Xbox.
I can't see any right-minded company wanting to sell multiple consoles right out the gate because it just skews your base of customers because so many different people are going to be, a lot of people will be confused, but the hardcore people will realize the difference. But I feel like it's better just to push your one product, like the Nintendo Switch, for example. It's like their flagship piece of hardware now. And of course they have like the SNES Classic and NES Classic and blah, 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 blah. But as far as like their core experience for playing their games, it's the Switch now. And it'd be weird if PlayStation came out like, here's our Pro model, here is our middle tier model, and here's our low model. If you really don't care about graphical fidelity and stuff or storage, you can just buy this crappy version. I think it'd be really bizarre, and I don't think that would work out too well. I think it's better to have like your centralized product and just push that 100%.
Kind of clouds the messaging. I guess.
So
it's more complex than it needs to be.
Yeah, I can't see them doing it out the gate, but of course over time, like every generation, like here's the slim version, here's the cheaper version, blah 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 blah. So
what time is it?
It's 4:16. We should probably wrap it up. That's all right. We can wrap it up there.
Yes, let's do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the It's Obvious podcast. This has been episode 163. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have anything to say to us down below or just anything regarding community questions or news stories, please share them in the comments below on youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming. And if you're here for the first time, please subscribe. We'd greatly appreciate the support. And thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful week. Again, if you're willing, take 5 minutes out of your day, even less if you're really quick, to hop on over to Apple Podcast on either your personal computer or an app if you have that capability, and leave us a rating, review, and subscription. Now, don't panic. I've said this before. I used to panic about Apple Podcasts myself. People are like, subscribe. Naturally, when you subscribe, it wants you to download every episode, but you can turn that off. If you subscribe to a podcast, you can just go to the little settings wheel on said podcast, and you can turn off downloads. So you can just stream the episodes if you want. Like say you're listening on Spotify or Google Play, you do not have to download them. It won't eat up storage on your phone. So if you're willing, again, rating, review, subscription helps us more than you can ever imagine.
Thanks, Garrett.
So thank you so much in advance. Do we have any new ones? You want to look it up real quick?
I can.
Jacob will do that. I will talk about how I am thrilled to see Mission Impossible here in the next couple hours. I'm going to hopefully dump my brains out before that because I'm still so constipated.
You a Tom Cruise fan?
I'm a fan of his films, not so much a fan of the individual himself, but great movies for the most part. Didn't really love The Mummy. Mummy kind of sucked, but everything else for the most part is pretty good. And the Jack Reacher sequel is not for me either. But
I've never liked those movies.
His flagship franchises like Mission Impossible. What are the other ones he does? He's had some good smaller roles too, like American Made was pretty good. Any new ones?
We have one
cool
from Brightest Shadows.
Brightest Shadows.
Said inspired me. Love the podcast, guys. You've inspired me to start a podcast. Keep up the good work.
It's always amazing to hear.
Yeah.
I hope you guys kill it. Please share your podcast on Discord in the community content section once you have it rolling.
Seriously, I'd love to check out.
It goes to all of you. If you don't already know this and you are a content creator, if you make anything on the internet, whether it be a podcast or Let's Plays, or even if it's not gaming related and you want to share it with the EOG community, we have that section on Discord. Please, we encourage you to do so. But always an honor, always a pleasure, Jacob. You're very handsome.
Thanks.
Love you to bits. Love the community. We hope you guys have a wonderful week, and we will see you on Twitch mornings and evenings.
Yes, please come see us. We'd love to see you on stream.
Yes, sir. And please follow, or if you have a Twitch Prime account that you haven't used, and you're willing to throw it our way, it's a free subscription. No difference on your end. Just subscribe.
Just sitting there, not being used.
Yep. You can throw it our way.
And we'd love the money.
Right. We're going to invest wisely for Jacob to get a fancy something for him in his streams.
Fancy something.
Yeah. Always be invested in improving our streams and
of course.
Our content overall.
Of course.
My back's about to explode.
Well, then let's end this bad boy.
Do it. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. We'll catch you again very soon.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.